You just talking about stem cells and 361, and these things. No one else has talked to me like this, and
Got it.
so
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Okay.
If we could
yeah,
break that down and make it easier for you, would that be something you're willing to do?
yeah, absolutely. My
Yeah.
success is your success, long term.
All right, guys, today is going to be a live sales call recording inside of my AI agency from a recent call we had where we pitched our price for $15,000. And I'll kind of go through the entire call. This is going to be the first time I'm reviewing it. And I'm sure from what I heard from the team, in my team, there's a lot of objections and a lot of back and forth. So should be a great call. Let's jump into it. And I hope you guys learn a thing or two.
How's it going?
Not too bad. I'm figuring out how I'm going to survive these next couple of months off 4 hours of sleep, but we'll figure it out as we always do.
Yeah. That's not the worst thing, right?
Oh yeah, there's worse stuff. There's a lot of work, so I can't complain. I'm a happy man. Ethan told me, gave me a little recap here. I don't want to put words in anybody's mouth, but he said you have your stem cell clinic. You opened back in like October, correct?
Yeah, soft opening October 15th, grand opening November 1st.
Okay, and he said like for the most part, you've only had so many people kind of come through in like the last.
Yeah, not many. We've had a lot of traffic as far as inquiries, but they're bad leads. Tire kickers, Medicare moms. It's just like we'd like to help everybody, but they have no money, and it just hasn't been qualified well. The marketing company we hired, I pressed and pressed and said we need to hire. We need to charge booking fee or consultation fee or a no-show fee, something like this here, where they feel like, at least that's my feeling. They feel like they've got something on the line, right? They're serious.
You're not doing that right now?
No, they're not doing it because they say they're not. Their system wasn't made to do that. They can't do it. And I've got
Well,
the whole.
they're working
But
for
on
you.
my credit card processor, I've got the credit card processor, but they refuse to do it. And then they say, well, you won't give us any leads. I'm like, no shit.
No one
At
cares
least,
about
but
leads. I care
who
about
cares,
leads.
right? We care about patients. And so, it's impossible to convert them when they're a no-show, and then you call them and they don't.
So this call is already turning into a pretty easy discovery, as you guys can see. Like I went from like 20 seconds of small talk to straight into pretty much establishing, if you see what Jacob, my closer, is doing here, he's essentially completely differentiating what we do and what this client, this marketing agency this guy currently works with our process. Like literally been like, they do that, they do this. Like, why are you doing that? They aren't getting deposits, things like that. Good, but I'll keep going.
Right. You go chase them down and you just can't get them. So that's a good probably 80%. We've had, we get 100 plus leads a month, but out of those, we maybe had 6 people in the clinic. And now our close rate is good. If we get them in the clinic, we can close them. So it's not a problem of closing. On our side, inside the clinic, we've got this. The product, if they have a problem and they want information, or they want to we'll do a webinar or I don't know, webinar, but we'll do either a telehealth call or an in-person call. By the time we get done with it, they're ready to sign up because they actually have pain or they have an issue or they have ED and they want to fix what they've got, right? And so I can tell you the testimonies are insane. I had a guy on Saturday and Friday that came in last week, a week ago today. ED 72 is like can't keep up with his wife and he'll do it in years. I gave him an injection. He calls me up on Saturday. First, I say, here's my cell number. Call me over the weekend if you have any problems. He goes, dude, I woke up with a Woody, first time in 15 years.
I love them now.
The dude was so excited. Yeah, so I'm getting that though. So what we do works. I had not talked to you guys at this time, but there's another company called Business Health AI. I went with them and I said, all right, look, they promised me they're going to give me the 7 or 8 figures. They're like, this is what we do for companies. We're the best. we're the best, right? So they're
I
like,
tell you, I'm the best. I'm going to get you to 7, 8 figures. Doesn't mean I am.
That's a fact, yeah.
In terms of what you're actually looking for, right? From like an operational standpoint, what does that kind of look like? Like, what would you be looking for from us for it to be like, okay, this would cover my bases?
You mean from a money standpoint or an operational standpoint?
From an operational standpoint.
All right, so I didn't realize that you guys actually have somebody that kind of qualifies and gets on sales-wise within a few minutes of them wanting to book an appointment. That's really good. What I need is somebody who's consistent. I know that you can't promise me results, but you guys have been in the space for a while and you're working with others, right? I would imagine that, well, let me just say this. I need a partner that's going to market what we do and do it in a way that makes sense to where it's going to drive business to us. And once we get it, we can close it. But if we have help on that as far as educating, if they're educated when they come to us, then it's a piece of cake getting them closed. It's even easier. We're doing all the education right now once they come in the clinic. And so it's not an easy thing when they come in not knowing a thing, having no idea what it costs. I sit them in a chair and go through it A to Z and then tell them the cost.
So pretty easy to figure out what this guy's struggling with, right? Bad experience with agencies, taking way too long to get launched, and then inconsistency. All right, so the biggest thing as we get into the sales presentation here that Jacob needs to hammer on is number one, consistency, good communication, and a good system that actually has follow-up for the leads. Now, the reason I say this is because he just said he works with a company right now where they got him 100 leads and only 6 actually converted into the clinic, and he's closing 1 every other person. So it's like 3 people, that actually turn into patients out of 100, right? When 96% of those people didn't even get into the clinic in the first place, probably due to bad follow-up. And this is very typical across agencies. It's just, it's very templatized process, templatized system. The reason our price point is so high is because we don't go that route. We really do take a huge amount of effort and time and work editing their ads, scripting their ads, sending them scripts, like really doing a lot more. But it's going to become relevant to kind of hit on these pain points throughout the presentation, like I said earlier as well. So let's jump into it.
Do you mind if I make a comparison?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's kind of like, and I see exactly what you mean by that. Like they're coming in, they have to kind of be educated by you rather than being pre-educated. Problem with that is, like, I'll compare it to our company, for example. If you know why we have all those videos out and we send them out and you get quite literally 30 emails in the span of 2 days, because the problem is if somebody comes to this call and they have absolutely no idea what it's about, the problem is we're educating you and you have no idea what you're there for.
Right.
But what happens if they're not educated before they come in?
You're burning a lot of time going back to square.
Not just time. What else are you burning, man?
Well, money.
There you go, right? So given like you would have that in place, right? So you have, somebody who's pre-educating them. They're actually taking care of the marketing. The creatives aren't just a bunch of like AI stuff, and it's real people. You have the education in place, and you have, those deposits being collected. Like, where would you want to see this? So like 16,000, yeah, is covering bills, but I'm sure you're not in the business to just cover.
Oh, no,
bills.
no. That's not where we are at all. And we offer so much. There are a lot of conditions that we treat, right? So, everyone that we've not had one customer come back and say, didn't really work for me. Everyone has been like high five. So I think really where we want to be is, we should have, my feeling is 2 to 3 patients a day in our clinic, at least somewhere in that range, which, what is that, 15 a week?
For just stem cells?
Yeah. But look at all the conditions. You've got ED, you've got bone arthritis, autism, you've got face, hair, you've got so much stuff going on here. There's no reason.
And I wasn't saying that your services don't work. Well, that's not what I was saying. I was just saying more so from the perspective of, okay, you're at, 12,000 a month, right? That was your month in December. Your overhead is about 16 for that. Where do you want to see the revenue be?
Oh, well, honestly, where do I want it to be? We want the revenue.
What's the goal?
I will say this. Our goal was this. Our goal was to open this clinic, get it up and running, and then we've already got a space picked out. We were opening up a second clinic up in the Washington, D.C. area, and we were supposed to do that in March. Well, that's not happening right now because things are just not moving fast enough. So that's kind of where we were looking to go. We were hoping to be somewhere in the $60,000 to $80,000 a month range. And our goal was to be, goals to get it to a $2 million clinic.
Right.
That I know, but I think realistically I should have a client. I should have 4 or 5 clients a week in there. That's
Which
not
is reasonable.
That's not unrealistic.
That's reasonable. That's a reasonable number. So if you had 4 or 5 clients a week, like, just so I understand from a logistical perspective, what would you roughly see like the average prices for like what you guys do? I know it's kind of dependent on what exactly you guys are treating them for, but like, let's say one person comes in on average, how much does a person spend?
All right, they spend anywhere between for ED they spend $5,300. That's what it costs. All right, $5,300. Now to put that in perspective, our profit on the 53 is $3,500, so it's a very strong markup.
So that's roughly 15 to 18,000 off of 5 to 6 patients.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so
for context, that's already more than what they're doing a month now. Like, his goal for 1 week is more like, because I think they do about 12,000 a month in the clinic. So it's like like Jacob said, their upkeep is 16. So like they're losing money every month. This is like a code red. He should be able to, like, Jacob should be able to create a lot of urgency here just due to this guy being in such a rough position. He said to lay off people that were working in his clinic, the nurse practitioners. He had a clinic he wanted to open March he can't do now because all these marketing companies have kind of fumbled and they don't have anyone in the clinic. There's so much here to work with. Like, this is looking pretty good.
If you made the changes where it's like, okay, rather than educating the people after they come in and qualifying them and making sure that it's not grannies on Medicare and they come in thinking it's going to be like $50. Like with those small changes, do you think you could reach that?
Easy. Yes, I know I could.
Got it.
I wouldn't be wasting my time with this if I didn't think so. There are other clinics the other clinics that are knocking it out of the park. They're doing great. There's no reason we can't be. And we don't have that. We don't really have competition here.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I think what we have is kind of what you're looking for. I'll pull up this screen really quick just so I can show you. You have a pen and paper?
I do.
Awesome. Let me just pull this up. All right. So.
All right. I see it. There you go.
Okay. So 3 things I want you to write down. 1 is just going to be lead generation. 2 is appointment setting, and 3 is sales. Right. So just write those down on your page and just leave a little bit of space between them. So right away, I'm not going to hide the price from you. Prices for the full 90 days, it's $15,000. But what you're going to get for that is, so pillar 1, the main thing is.
Okay, so big thing we do there. So we always normally drop price before we even go into the presentation. You see how we quickly did that? Boom, price. Boom, right before we go into things. So the reason you do this is because, and I've talked about this on other videos as well, but we pitch our price like that because we've noticed that if we wait till the end of the presentation, $15,000 is a big shock number to people, right? It's like, ooh, that's a lot, right? Most agencies charge 5, 10, not even 5, like $3,000 a month. And it's because their service normally sucks. Like if your service is really good and you know it's worth more than $3,000 a month, you're going to go charge more than that, just like we do. But when you say price up front, it clears their brain of thinking throughout the entire presentation, what's the price, what's the price, what's the price? And we've noticed if we delay price towards the end of talking about it, these people generally don't listen to one word we say, they just are listening for the price.
So what we do to actually crack the advertisement code is we launch 40 to 50 new advertisements every single month. Because even 2 or 3 words can change your conversion from step 1 to step 2 of the funnel by 10, 15, 20%. It's that powerful.
That's wild.
Yeah. So what we do is we use humans and we use AI. We use humans to do the scripting and we use AI to do the supplementary stuff in the video, meaning like the pictures, the stuff like that. And this lets us edit extremely fast so we can get 40 to 50 ads out every single month. So what that's going to do, it's going to make sure you're actually cracking this and your money's not going to waste by getting you a bunch of tire kickers or people who have nothing to do with, the specific pain or treatment you guys are providing. And these ads are going to be educational based, which means they have to be compliant with 361. And then obviously we're going to send these to you for approval. You're going to say yes. You're going to say yes to the actors we pick out. We have these companies on retainer.
That's a big thing, by the way, is compliance. Like if you work in the medical space specifically as an agency, like you yourself as a closer, or if you have your own salespeople on your team, need to be up to date on regulations and compliance.
Once you say yes, we script them, we launch them, and they're good to go. Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
So, and then pillar 1 and pillar 2, pillar 3, they all have the education weaved in. So after pillar 1, before they kind of go through pillar 2, is we also have that webinar video sales letter style funnel. So on there, it's going to be a 20 to 25 minute video. We're going to have you script it out and record it once, but there's going to be variations for every single treatment that we're providing with slight different variations in the word. So we're going to be able to create 20 or 30 variations out of this one recording session that you do, which is going to
that's really good. Okay.
So this is going to let us do a bunch of different treatments, test which one's performing the best. So over time, as we split test them, we're going to know this one's converting to the next step at the best rate, and we can eventually declare a winner and stick with that one relative to the treatment. And then obviously on the back end, there's going to be systems for people who, book in late, people who, scroll ads late at night, they wake up in pain, or, they come home from work and then they start scrolling, they click on an ad and they see it and they're interested, but nobody's there to call them. So they're going to be sent educational content from our system, our AI system. It's going to automatically detect based off the form they fill out, which piece of content needs to be sent to them that's most relevant to their condition. Make sense?
Okay.
And then there's going to be a drip sequence as time goes on, but that's pretty self-explanatory. So the pillar 2 is going to be appointment setting. In the appointment setters, so we have an appointment setting team. It's all US-based appointment setters. And what they do is within 60 to 120 seconds of somebody putting their information on the form, they're going to call them up right then and there. So what they're going to do is they're going to take them through a 15, 20-minute structured call. They're going to talk about specifically what was put in the form, so their pains, their problems, stuff they've been experiencing, how it's affecting their life, stuff they've tried in the past, and they're going to build that gap, right? Once they build that gap and they qualify this person based on financial capabilities, based on their medical background, age, stuff like that, seeing how effective something would be for them, at that point, there's 2 options. Option 1 is we can hire a closer for you, right? But since you guys have a pretty good close rate, and you said for the majority of people that actually come in, you guys are actually closing them, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, we're doing for a new clinic. We're doing well with that.
So, like, what did you say your close rate was?
I mean, we're at least half of the folks we're seeing we're closing.
Got it.
I mean, if they go through, by the time they go through all this and they've got the educational part down, it's going to be even easier.
Right, because you're not educating the patient before they come in.
Right.
Right, exactly. And then what we do is, since you guys have a pretty good close rate, and that's without the deposits, what we do is we also do deposits. So we frame
Good.
it
I
as
love that.
we frame it as a consultation fee, and it's non-refundable. However, what we do is we recommend that you roll it.
So part of the reason he's emphasizing on this as well, and even the prospect goes, I love that, is because if you guys remember at the start of this call, he was talking about how I just wish the agency I worked with, they had our, patients or whatever, pay deposits so they're not no-showing and stuff. Boom. Emphasize on that here.
Over into the treatment. So once they go through with the treatment, you roll it over.
Right.
It becomes a
That makes sense. We do that. I've actually, the people that I'm getting locally here by just kind of like, word of mouth or whatever, when they do contact me, I will take a consultation fee from them over the phone.
Right.
So, but I can't do it through pilot practice. If they do it online, they don't do it.
Right. Exactly. So what we're going to do is, you said you already have your payment processor in place. Is it Stripe? Is it Square? Which one is it?
I did it through my EMR. I can't remember the name of it.
Okay. So we would integrate everything into your EMR. So our CRM, which is GoHighLevel, we would integrate that with your EMR, make it compliant, everything along those lines.
Right. Our CMR is GoHighLevel. Right.
Okay. Perfect. So that's super easy. That means we can just merge the snapshots. It just works as one.
Okay.
And basically what we would do is the payment processor you have in there, I'm assuming you use the native GoHighLevel one.
Yes.
They pay it right then and there before they even come into the clinic.
Okay.
So that way people are going to be pre-educated, they're going to be pre-qualified, and they're going to have money down, which is going to raise the intent. The whole point of this funnel is we want to get rid of as many tire kickers as possible. So throughout this, there's little friction points that are going to drive away those people who just click on ads because, they want to click on ads because they're on Facebook or Instagram. And it's going to filter them out. So by the time they get to the end and they're hit with a consultation fee, nobody who actually doesn't care about solving this problem and who doesn't have a big enough problem to solve is going to pay that consultation fee. Make sense?
It does, yes.
Yeah. And then in terms of this process, what kind of questions might be coming up for you that you might need covered from the logistical side?
Right now, I can't think of any.
Okay.
I mean, you're covering a lot more than I really expected here.
So you think this is perfect?
Yeah, I mean, this is exactly what we get.
So you can be honest with me. Like, do you think that this could be like the answer to your problems?
Here
Like,
goes
based
the
off what
tie
you
down.
guys have kind of told?
Yeah, you guys have been doing this obviously for a while.
After the 90 days, it's $2,000 a month as retainer. The $15,000 is because we're building. We're testing every single day to see what works. So it's a little intensive in the beginning. That's why we don't do month to month for the first 90 days. First 90 days is build out, roll out, optimization. After that, it's easy to maintain. It's just $2,000 a month.
And that includes all the any new ads, new creatives, whatever else you put out. You guys are managing it all.
Yeah.
That includes everything, right?
Yeah, because by day 90, we figured out what the messaging is that works. So the optimization is very minimal. It's more about reducing the ad fatigue curve than it is about increasing what you guys are getting. Because once you have a system that works, where you're getting, $3-4 for every dollar you put in, it's scalable.
What about communication? I mean, I know we're obviously not your only customer. You've got lots of customers. So we don't expect you guys to drop everything every time we have a question or have an issue.
Weekly statistic updates. So Skylar would do that. He'd go through the ad account. He'd go through all the ads, send you guys a 20-25 minute video so you guys can go through it. And you get those weekly calls with Skylar one-on-one.
So that's good. So we're getting weekly updates. So I don't know if I can scrape up the 15 that I would give you. I'd have to take from somewhere else that honestly, I'm making my mortgage payment. I'm taking everything else because I've got now this much money left. I can't take it so far until that closes.
Right. My question is I respect that. Move the ones and zeros, whatever needs to be done. I can respect that situation. I've done it. My question is, if money were out of the equation, would you do this?
Yeah, absolutely. It's no question. You and I would be partners today. I know, no doubt. You just talking about stem cells and 361, and these things. No one else has talked to me like this, and
That's exactly what I was talking about earlier. Okay, that is the key part. If you're talking to people, especially who are knowledgeable in their space, you have to speak their lingo. You guys wonder why I tell you pick the niche that you already have the personal relationship with or the background with. It's this type of stuff. You can just speak their lingo, and there's different lingo for every single industry.
Enough about it. So therefore, you've got exposure. You know what we need, and the numbers we're talking about here. I didn't want to sound too greedy about what we're looking for, but what you're saying we should realistically hit. That's where we need to be.
Yeah.
We didn't get into this as a hobby.
Right, exactly. Like, you didn't come here to not make money. You came here to make money.
Right.
And do you mind if I share a little bit of perspective around the money?
Yeah.
So most of our successful clients, right, they don't view money as a problem. They view it as a symptom. Because if you had the right marketing in place and you had the right team bringing you the right amount of leads that were qualified with deposits down and they were actually convertible, not tire kickers, what else would you have more of?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You have more money.
You'd have more money, right? Now look, I can help with the investment, right? But I can't help with the commitment itself. That commitment has to come from you, whether it be today, tomorrow, doesn't really matter. But being willing and wanting to change the situation and not letting that uncertainty in the current situation overcome what you want to do. Right?
No, I hear you. That makes a lot of sense.
Right. Are you willing to do that?
No, I am willing to do that. I was at a point before you and I talked today to where it's like I'm tired of giving them another week. I was like, all right, it's either done. Monday we're up running ads, or we're canceling the contract. You've done nothing that you said you were going to do, and so I'm ready to cut those guys loose. Pilot practice. They already know that they're on their way out. I'm just kind of working with them until I get some. I've been very honest with them because they're not giving us what we want, and they swear they can't, but they say everybody else is really happy with us. I can't believe that, but it doesn't matter. That's not my problem.
If we could break that down and make it easier for you, would that be something you're willing to do?
Yeah, absolutely. If you guys, I hate to even suggest that, but if you were able to do that, then that's certainly. I mean, we've all got skin in this game, right? My success is your success long term. That's why, worst case, if I had to wait until March and we get back together and start fresh there, I don't want to do that, but that's worst case. I think you guys are a good choice. Best choice I've talked to, so I'd be willing to do that, because I don't expect you guys to make these huge concessions for us. I never ask that out of people.
Yeah,
but that's just being very transparent. That's where we are.
Yeah, completely fair. I get that.
You said 13,000 a month.
Sorry, 1,300 a month.
Oh, okay. Well, you said I thought you said 13,000. I was like,
13, no,
that's
13,
not so good.
Oh, dude, I'd be the richest.
For context, this is us going the financing route because he just does not have the credit history, the money in the bank, it seems like, to go pay this up front due to all these other random scenarios, I guess, that's going on. But we'll see what happens.
Man on earth, if it was 13,000 a month. No, it'd be 1,300 a month. And then you have 3,000 for the ad spend, which is still less than what you're just paying on ad spend with this other company.
No, that's really good. Yeah, absolutely. And then you're right. And then just pay the whole thing off in March.
Yeah.
When we get to close.
Would you want to do that?
Yeah, we could do that.
All right. Well, that's pretty much the whole call, guys. So you could see us go through discovery, pitch everything, kind of handle some objections around money, cash, all that stuff. Kind of the, I guess, TLDR of what happened after this call. Scheduled the call, I think, for later, same day. Got a deposit, and still to this day, we are waiting to hear back from him. So he's just paid a deposit with us, and he's just kind of held it because I think his other businesses and stuff are going through a transition period or selling and all this random stuff. But that being said, guys, that's a live sales call recording. I'm sure this guy will end up paying the rest here soon. But even as it stands, even if you call this call a no close, I'm sure you learned a thing or two about sometimes how some calls go. This is how it is, but we ended up getting a deposit, and I'm sure he'll convert down the road in the next couple weeks. So yeah, guys, that being said, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, comment below if you want to see more sales calls. I know I get a ton of comments from you guys saying you want to see more stuff from my agency specifically. So here it is. And yeah, guys, that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.